Forensics really is the application of science to law. Originally, my interest in all this started when I was in law enforcement in Canada. And at that point, there was starting to be crime that was moving online. So as we started working on cases, it became apparent pretty quickly that there was something very different about the people that were using technology to commit the crime. Purdue has always been on the forefront of cybersecurity research. They made me an offer to come down to develop a cyber forensics program. We deal with digital evidence, we deal with multimedia evidence. There's nothing out there that's not tracking us. Walking on campus here, you pass at least a dozen facial recognition cameras. And then the challenge becomes to take all this information and put it all together and see what kind of a story that builds. And that's actually when I first stumbled across Splunk. Once we got the data loaded, within seconds, everything pops out. Yes, look at this person talked to this other person 200 times. And they were always talking to them the day after the person had met with the prosecutor. That's not a coincidence. And I started thinking, this actually is exactly what we're looking for. The other really nice thing that became apparent is the built-in visualization tools in Splunk are simple. And when you're dealing with complex technology issues, simple is great. You know, there are pie charts and graphs, courts love that. It really allows individuals that aren't necessarily technical, but are still good investigators, to start investigating.
We don't want to replace humans. You want to supplement, what we do with what the machine can do for us.
What Splunk does is it gives me and it gives this area a method of putting data into context. It can actually lead to physical actions that get taken that can either exonerate somebody or show that there's more things involved that you missed in the first place. An individual had been charged with starting a fire and the dad died. So they charged this individual with arson and homicide. A lot of it came down to where was this individual at the time the event occurred. And using something that Bay was able to basically take different types of data, put it together, aggregate it, and again, being able to put context and visualization and go through times, was able to show that in fact, at the time that the event occurred, the son wasn't there. Eventually the prosecutor dropped all charges against the kid. For this person to have their life and their career back was huge. Despite the claims by the different vendors that are out there, none of them do this the way that I can do this within Splunk.